The second thing I wanted to find out is whether Obabalo Unkosi, can you load my notes on the screen or not?
Okay, I'll have to download them. I can do that. Let me just download them.
Okay. But I will start talking in the meantime if I'm already on the platform. I don't know if it's my chance to talk.
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to all the supporters and members of the South African Leadership Gentlemen's Club. Now, today I thought I should talk about, and I'm sorry I could not be in Soweto. I'm in Umtata today with family matters, and I'm spending some time with my dad at his house. Now, what I want to say is that in terms of this presentation, I want to emphasize just one simple point, whilst the notes are still coming up, that a father has a unique role that cannot be replaced in the development of any human being. So we cannot think that a father can be substituted for a mother, as an example. A father is a father, a mother is a mother. And there are certain things in science and in nature, even in our bodies and minds and brains, how we work, that distinguish a mother and a father, how a male human being responds to a child in the upbringing of a child. So we need to recognize that. So I'll start from the start of this little notes. I thought I would be brief, but raise some points that are not usually discussed. So if we look at the notes that are on our screen now, I started off there by making this very point, that fathers and mothers both are naturally necessary in the creation and development of a child. We need to make this obvious point that a child cannot come about unless there's a father and a mother to cause that to happen. Fatherhood is a lifetime occupation as you provide consolation, love, guidance, wisdom, and share in the successes in the lifetime of your children and grandchildren. As a father, you will father your child anywhere from 30 to 50 years old, 30 to 50 years of their lives. Let me make an illustration of this. Today, I'm here in my father's house. My father is 30 years older than me. He's in his 80s. I am here with my grandson. My son is not here. I left him in Joburg. So I still look up to my father for advice and support and his love. And in as much as a son, I also do my best to make sure that I can also support my father. I spend time every week. I spend about 5 days to 6 days a week with my grandson, training him, mentoring him, and developing him, in assisting my son also to be able to pick up his business career and develop and not be hindered only by taking care of children. So you must imagine that right now there are 4 generations. It's my father, my own father, myself, my son, and my grandson, and still more to come. And I am still actively involved with all of these people. So I am saying that as a father, you will father your child anywhere from 30 to 50 years of their lives. So it's not a little thing that you say when they pass matric, you've finished everything. A well-developed child becomes a worthy community member and a contributing citizen in nation building. A father is a father and a mother is a mother. They are non-identical. They are not the same thing. their contributions to human development are both necessary and different. These two different contributions are complementary, and we must encourage fathers especially to understand the necessity of their role and contribution to human development, which has no substitute. In other words, as a father, in the life of my daughter, I have a contribution that she cannot get from the mother. In the life of my son, I have a contribution that my son cannot get from his mother. My contribution as a father is unique, and it has no substitute. Now, one writer states as follows: fathers and mothers have unique and complementary, non-identical roles in their children's lives. They vary in the way they communicate, play, and discipline their children. Studies have shown that if a child's father is affectionate, supportive, and involved, this highly contributes to a child's social, emotional, and academic development, as well as providing a greater sense of authenticity, self-esteem, and confidence. And this helps children build more eagerness in exploring the world around them and dealing with the constant changes in life while feeling safe and secure. We can go to the next paragraphs. So you must understand that a father differs from the mother in the way you communicate as a father to the child, the way you play with the child, and the way you discipline the child. And that gives the child self-esteem. In other words, self-respect, to value yourself and to be self-confident of who you are. You get that from your father. Or as a father, in this case, I'm talking to you as fathers, to know that if you don't do these things, what is it that your children end up not getting? Thus, good fathering means we have fewer fake people and more authentic and self-confident people. So you find that kunama fake, kabantaba fake success, fake romance, fake love, fake whatever, because these people were not given self-confidence and self-identity and authenticity from their own fathers. And I am not talking about what your father did. I'm talking about what you and I need to do to our own children and our own grandchildren. As an example, fathers tend to play rough with their children and allow them to take risks and so on. So somebody who's looking like a mother who's looking at you playing with your child or your grandchild, they must say, this man is so rough with the kid. But children actually are designed by nature to expect that from the father, to enjoy it and to learn from it, something that they cannot learn from the mother. This allows the child to become emotionally stable and less fearful, and able to deal with unpredictable situations in life without too much anger or panic. Children and even newborn babies need direct skin contact with their father. When you look at hospitals, you can go to the next paragraph. Many doctors in the past, when a child is born, then they take it and put it in the chest of the mother so that the child and the mother bond. But science is showing us that actually a child must bond with both the father and the mother. There must be skin contact even when the child is born between you and your child. When that happens, there are certain hormones, and I'm going to talk a lot about hormones today. Hormones, chemicals that are released into your body, which then control you and make you more of a father. So we expect that a woman who has just given birth to a child, hormones are released in the body so that the mother can give milk. That is a hormone. So we expect that in women. What science is showing us is that even hormones of a man change when a man has just given birth. Now uyashintsha nomama womntwana uyashintsha ama hormones abakhona emzimbeni lo kwenza ukuthi it gives you the capacity to be much more understanding of your child and how to respond to your child in a protective, in a gentle way, in a learning and teaching way to the child. Now, I put down about 3 key considerations, A, B, C. Now you are seeing on the screen A and B. Our parenting contribution must happen when we have money and when we have no money. Chasing money must not diminish our willingness and ability to father our children. As fathers, we must find ways of creating financial security and stability for our children and grandchildren. This requires conscious effort while you are still a student in junior secondary school, through high school, college, in order to maintain the discipline necessary to sustain a family. It can't be that you start thinking about a father the day you've made a girl pregnant for the first time. So as you are growing up as a man, that is why our sons, when they are in junior secondary school, about standard 5, kanjalo, that's when we need to start teaching them when you are going to be a father one day, these are the things you need to start thinking about so that you discipline your life yourself as a young man until one day when you become a father, become an uncle, and so on and so forth, you already have prepared yourself for that position. B, all fathers have to learn more and more about male fatherly parenting and not allow situations to arise where the male style of parenting is confined to the dustbin. Children need the positive contribution of males in their lives. Lento yokuthi abantwana bakhuliswa ngonina omama babo thina singotata khonto siyifakayo is a mistake. There is a special and unique way that fathers need to parent as a male parent, umzali oyindoda. Number 1, these are examples of the things you can do practically. You can take your children to camping trips in your yard or in a suitable park or farm. Camping. Take a detailed shows and movies they like and discuss with them, with them. Take a detailed read with them and participate diligently in their homework. Do gardening, repair work, technology projects with them. Encourage their interest in sport, health, and fitness. Make sure, for instance, I became a rugby player because I learned rugby from my dad. When I was a little boy, he took me to rugby matches. I became a rugby player. Encourage their interest in sport, health, and fitness. Make sure your home is full of books on many different subjects and about many different countries and cultures. Most South Africans, you can't even find a book about the history of Russia, the history of Brazil, the novels from Sweden. All that you have, if you are lucky, you'll find Shakespeare, there's something from England. So ourselves and our children are not broad-minded because we don't invest in that. And understand something, even if you are not very highly educated yourself, go to second-hand books, which I do myself. Buy books about anything, buy books about mathematics, buy books about engineering, buy books about art, because books have been found in science and research that it is a home with books will produce educated children. More than anything else, if you have a lot of books at home and a father who promotes education, even if the father is not educated, those children will be educated. I started reading university books that were left at home when my uncle went into exile. I started reading them when I was about standard 6, university books. I started reading them because they were there. Simply the reason why I read them is because they were there. The last one that I want to talk about today, and this is also new to me. It's something that I'm learning that I've discovered recently, and I thought it's relevant for this meeting. Our bodies secrete important hormones early on after the child is born, which changes the behavior and responses of both mothers and fathers to infants. In other words, nature or God, if you like, has created a situation that mawuzoba nomntana and mawuqala ukuba nomntana, your own body puts in chemicals, which are called hormones, into your body. You become more gentle as a man. There's less testosterone. There are other hormones that come in that make you more of a father. And you need to be aware of this, and you need to open yourself. Uthi yini sengathi sengiba nama feelings? Why sengathi ngiba soft manje sekuzalwa lo mntana? Why ngathi ngiyathamba? It's supposed to be like that. So hormones change the male into more of a father. These hormones make the male more of a stimulator of a child, encouraging the child to learn and do more and more. And the same hormones make the male human being less aggressive. It makes us less aggressive. Now, imagine that the science is telling us that the first teacher that the child has is actually the father. When a man who has been stimulated by these hormones start touching a child, you start stimulating the learning capacities of a child from day one. A little child who seems not to know anything, your nature is that of a teacher to a child. So I'll don't think I know a lot of this science. This is just research that I've done. So now you can do your own research. But for the first point, oxytocin and vasopressin have been associated with the expression of paternal behavior. In other words, in Tony, chemicals as a sense of paternal means father, paternal behavior. It makes you to behave. These chemicals makes us to behave like fathers. Naturally, njengoba uyibona inkomo, inkukhu, imbuzi, or whatever, it becomes a parent because of chemicals that work in it. In your case, it's even more because you are very intelligent as a human being. So when those chemicals start working on you, you become more of a father. Then two, both mothers and fathers get a comparable dose of these hormones after the child is born. But these hormones give a mother and a father a very different style of responding and interacting with an infant. An infant, let's say below the age of 3 and so on. So, lama chemicals umengena endodeni ayayishintsha indoda ukuthi ibe umzali owubaba, hayi ukuthi ikufanisa nomfazi ube umama, cha, ikwenza ukuthi ube ubaba womntwana. Umama imenza ukuthi abe umama. Lama chemicals esikhuluma ngawo emvelo, hayi ukuthi umuntu uthatha ama drugs. Specifically, fathers, once dosed with oxytocin, become more stimulatory of a child's exploratory and autonomy. In other words, bachukuti mawuyithola le oxytocin, this chemical that goes into your body, it makes you to say to your child, noma lo mntana nithethi naye, you allow the child to learn more. Ukuthi ayizwe ingubo le, ishiti le, iteaspoon le, intoni le. You allow the child to more, you stimulate and encourage the child to learn more and to not be afraid of new things. That's what a father does. Natural, we're still talking about natural. Ngoba ezinye izinto ziyenzeka emizimbeni nasengqondweni zethu singazi ukuthi sekwenzekalani manje. The hormone vasopressin this is in research, it made expectant fathers, kusho ukuthi umfazi usamitha akakazali. It made expectant fathers more interested in direct care for the unborn child. Ngeli xesha umfazi esamithi, there's a chemical, mawumbona ukuthi umithi lo mfazi umithi umntana wakho. There's a chemical that wants you to take direct care of the child. In addition, vasopressin made fathers more active and interested in stimulatory contact with the children, with their children. When we talk about stimulatory contact, in other words, ukhuthaza ukuthi umntana akhule afunde izinto asesemncane ngaleso sikhathi. These same hormones also shape how we respond to sounds made by infants. In other words, umntana angahleka, umntana angakhala, umntana angashouta, khwaza thini. Because these chemicals are now in your body, you know this child is in danger. This child is happy. This child is that. I must do this. I must do this. It's chemical. That is not to say usaljeka akanawo umsebenzi wokusifundisa ukuthi okay umntwana mayenza so yenza so wena ubaba wakhe. But nature is also helping us. And another thing that I learned about this is that it is important to know that people who were brought up under harsh discipline and other unfavorable childhood experiences sometimes struggle to respond to children properly. So nayo leyo into iyafuna ukuqeqeshwa. I think even the previous speaker was trying to explain some of those historical problems in the lives of men. Number 6, oxytocin reduces anxiety and aversion and enhances empathetic understanding towards the distressed infant. Umuntu onekhala esengxakini awusabi mangabe usuthole leyo oxytocin ukuthi usondele emntwaneni, ngoba abanye bethu siyasaba nje nokumthini umuntu engathi uzomuyisa uzamphula uzomthini. No, once you allow yourself and open yourself to these chemicals in your body, you are then able to be gentle and to be able to take care of the child ngaphandle kovalo nokwesaba. Oxytocin helps fathers to fall in love with their own children. And when they see pictures of the same kids, even when you see, that's why you need to learn to put profile pictures of your children in your phone and in your office and wherever, in your workplace and even in your wallet. Because when you look at the picture of your child, then the body releases these hormones and creates a bond, a loving bond. And you do need to deliberately encourage yourself to love your children as a father. Vasopressin helps fathers recognize children who are related to them. Mangabe ubona isithombe somntwana wakho unabantwana abayi-3 abanjani, even nabantwana bakini babafowenu nabo sister bakho, mawubabona yiyo i-vasopressin, this chemical in your body that helps you to recognize ukuthi igazi lami leli, abantwana bakithi laba, and the feelings of fatherhood start kicking in you. Number 9, which I want to believe is my last point. Oxytocin increases in-group trust among family members. Uma ngabe ni ngaba abarolong noma ni ngabokhabazela kanjalo ni group, what we call a group, a clan of some sort. It is oxytocin that causes you to trust each other and to bind each other together. That is not to say we don't need to encourage as leaders and heads of families, the family to get together and to love each other, but nature is also helping us. For the sake of today, I will not be long, I will stop there. I'm very happy to have been able to speak at this inaugural first opening session of the Soweto Club for Gentlemen. And I'm hoping for best things to come. That is my hometown. I was born in Rockville, Soweto, 2918 Msimango Street, Zulu section. Thank you. Ndigqibile zinkosi zami. Are we still together? Yes, I'm done with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Tata.
Siyabonga kakhulu, thank you leadership for making time and for empowering us.